Well, hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Carrie and today's video is one that I've been wanting to do for a really long time, so I'm really excited to be doing it and finally getting around to it. After reading this title, you might have thought that I'm going to be sitting here ripping on a bunch of YouTubers and exposing them, but I'm actually going to be exposing them for being amazing people. I'm going to be sharing my favorite experiences meeting different YouTubers who I actually loved so much. From channels of all sizes, varying from like my friends to like YouTubers that I love and I'm like a huge fan of. Because I thought that maybe these days YouTubers need to love on each other a little bit because there's a lot of like drama and exposing and like spilling the tea and things like that that go on YouTube, and I really loved that my friend Ali Hardesty started this video. I just thought it was like a really fun, cute idea, and she also mentioned me in one of these videos, which was so amazing and so sweet. I just freaking love that girl. I will get into that in a minute, but if you guys want to hear all about me exposing my favorite YouTubers, then just go ahead and keep watching. So I will start with Ali, just first and foremost, Ali Hardesty, and she's one of my YouTube friends who I've been friends with for a couple years now, and I love her. I first found her channel when she started making storytime videos, and she did a video talking about how she confronted her ex with the other woman, and I was watching her video because it was recommended to me, and I had a video that was about confronting my ex with the other woman, so I wanted to see someone else's story, and I watched the video and I just thought her personality was so freaking cute and adorable, but she was like also sassy and just had this like edge and just seemed so down to earth, and I just loved her. And then when I looked in the description box of that video, I saw that she had put in the description box that like I inspired her to make that video, or like that kind of the topic of the video, and seeing that topic made her want to tell her own story, and I was like, oh, how sweet and freaking cute is she? Like, I just feel like YouTubers don't do that. They don't really credit each other as much these days, and so I just thought that was really sweet and awesome. And then we ended up doing like a collab together, and then she actually came to Arizona I think last year for her spring break, and we ended up doing an in-person collab. We did the yoga challenge on her channel and we did a drive with me on my channel, and we had so much fun. She is genuinely like the sweetest, most down-to-earth, amazing girl. She's like so high energy and so sweet, and like her personality and her spirit is very infectious to be around. And when I met her, it was like literally just meeting an old friend that I had known forever, and we have a huge age difference between us. I think we have like 8 or 9 years between us. I can tend to feel like really old when I hang out with younger YouTubers sometimes, but honestly I didn't feel that way at all. She was just so sweet. I'll have her channel as well as everyone else I talk about in this video linked down below, but definitely make sure you go show Ali some love because she did come up with this video idea, and I just freaking love the girl, okay? I love her. The next person I'll talk about is kind of more of like an old school YouTuber who still makes YouTube videos, but this was someone I watched way back in the day, and her name is Julia Scheer, and I freaking love Julia. I'm gonna say that about every person, I'm sure. She actually came into the restaurant that I used to work at in Nashville. For those of you that don't know, she's a music YouTuber. I used to see her in Ingrid's vlogs all the time back in the day when Ingrid was on tour with Luke, when she was dating Luke, and I remembered seeing Julia in one of the videos, and then like from then on I just started watching all her music videos and listening to all her music, and I'm obsessed with her voice. It's so delicate and so beautiful. So I had been watching a lot of her videos, and I had seen, maybe this was like 2 or 3 years ago, I had seen this blonde girl come into the restaurant that I worked at in Nashville with her boyfriend at the time, and she looked so cute. She had these like adorable little overalls on, and I went up to the table and I was just like waiting on them, and I was like, she looks so familiar, but I couldn't figure out like who it was. Somehow like pieced it together throughout the time that I was waiting on her, and before she left I was like, oh my god, I have to say something, but I like don't want to be an idiot and just one of those people that's like, oh, I love your videos. Like I just never know, especially coming from like a YouTuber myself, like I just never know how to like approach that type of situation. So I basically just wrote a note on her after she paid like her bill. I wrote a note on her receipt and was just like, I love your videos, I've been watching you forever, like I think you have like an angelic voice, like here's my Twitter if you ever want to like hang out or whatever. And she ended up following me on Twitter right away. Like as soon as she left, I didn't like go back to the table or anything, and she followed me right away, and we had plans to meet up before I moved from Nashville, but both of our schedules were just too crazy. You know, she doesn't post as many YouTube videos anymore, but I'm still just like a huge fan of her music, and I just love her to death. And I just thought that was a really, like, she didn't have to, you know, follow me on Twitter and like suggest we hang out or anything. Like she was just really sweet. I remember the day she sent me a DM and was like, we should hang out. I literally like almost passed out. I just think she's so great. So yeah, definitely a 100 out of 100 experience meeting Julia Scheer. She was so amazing. The next YouTuber I will expose is my doter. For those of you guys who don't know, Nicole Jacqueline is one of my really good YouTube friends, and I love her to death. She is a slime queen and a goddess, and Nicole and I met about 2 years ago at VidCon, and I was waiting in line at VidCon for this after party. I had talked to Nicole before. I think we had added each other on Facebook or something like that. We kind of ran in the same circle of friends. And I was getting ready to meet up with some more girls that I knew on YouTube. While I was waiting in line to meet up with these girls, I saw Nicole and I was like, oh, you're Nicole, right? And like we met and we sort of started talking, and like immediately we started talking like Miranda. I'm not sure why, like, or where this voice came from, but like I was like, oh, okay, you my people, like you cool. And we were standing there waiting in line, and actually, fun fact, you get your ID checked when you're waiting in line to get into these YouTube parties or these, like, you know, network parties. And we were waiting in line and Nicole had just turned 20. And so she was like, am I gonna get in trouble? And I'm like, no, they just won't give you alcohol, like it's no big deal. So we were standing in line waiting to get in, and the bouncer was checking our IDs. He checked my ID. Obviously I was old AF. So he gave me a wristband, and then Nicole was right behind me and he checked her ID and he like looked at it and he was like, oh, barely made 21, like congrats, and put a wristband on her wrist. She was like, oh my god, he read my ID wrong, and it was just like a really funny moment. So from then on, like we were just inseparable, and she a few months later, maybe it was like a month or two later, flew out to Nashville and came and visited me, and like we've just become really good friends, and we don't get to see each other as much as we want to, but that girl knows how much I love her and how much I adore her. So much about her reminds me of me at that age. She's 21, I'm 30. I feel like I'm her unofficial like older sister, and I just like am protective of her and I love her. So don't mess with her or I'll come after you. And a lot of you guys were asking when we did film our videos together, when she came and visited me in Nashville for those first collabs that we did together, a lot of you guys were asking if she was my daughter because she kept calling me mom. And so I was saying she was my daughter, I'm her mom. She just kept being like, mom, I love you. And so people were genuinely asking, like I got comments for months after that asking if she was really my daughter. And one person commented, is Nicole Jacqueline your doter? And so she's my doter forever and ever. The next YouTuber that I will expose is one of my YouTube best friends in the entire world, and that is Liz Ryan. I don't feel like Liz gets enough recognition for how much work she puts into her channel. Not to mention being like the kindest, most warm, sweet, accepting individual like I've ever met in my life. Like that is my sister. We went to San Francisco together, me, Nicole, and Liz last year in November of 2016 actually, and we had the best time and just instantly clicked. She came and visited me twice since I've lived in Phoenix, and she lives in Las Vegas now. I'm about to go visit her, and it's just, she's just the best. Do you ever just meet those people and you just meet them and you instantly click with them and you're like, yeah, you're my person? That's me and Liz. We have so much fun together. We're so silly and goofy together. We hang out in no makeup with like our hair on top of our head like crazy, and we just have the best time. And like the party goes wherever Liz goes. Honestly, she's just such a ray of sunshine. I love her to death. So definitely had to mention her. I love you, girl. You know you must, sis. The next person is someone that I met at that YouTube party that I was talking about previously, which I will mention a few people just because I actually had like an opportunity to go up to them and meet them. And one of them was Megan Tonjes. And if you guys know me, you know my love for Megan Tonjes. I met her at the after party for VidCon, which was 2016 VidCon, and like this girl was just so intimidating for me to meet because I was such a fan of like her music. I remember one time I DM'd her on Twitter like a question when I first started doing covers, and she was really the only person that like responded to me and was like, yeah, you know, be careful of doing this and do this, and like was really offering like genuine advice. And I just felt like it just meant the world to me that she, you know, took the time to do that, and she ended up like following me on Twitter. So when I met her, I was like, hey, you follow me on Twitter? Because I just didn't know what to say and I'm really awkward. And she was just really kind. I was talking to her at the time, a guy that she knows was like kind of trying to like hit me up. I was talking to her about him, and she was just really complimentary of like me, and she was just so sweet, and it was really, really nice to meet her. And I definitely feel like her type of content and like her brand is what I strive to be, like raw, open, honest, unfiltered, but she lets herself be vulnerable, and I'm just really like inspired by her, and I just think she's great. I love the activism she does. I love how she claps back at haters. I just freaking love the girl. So I had to mention Megan Tonjes. She's a boss. I love her. The next people I will mention together because I met them together, but also because they're roommates, and I just feel like that's very fitting now, but it is Adrian Finch and Janine Amapola. And I had known Adrian before through doing like group collabs and things like that, and I had never met her. And so when I met her, it was just like meeting a friend. I know I've said that before, but it was just like, we were just like, oh my god, we had this like moment where we hugged, and like it's just so fun meeting your YouTube friends in person, like people that you're actually friends with. Like it's not nerve-wracking at all. It's actually so exciting. Janine was with her, and I had watched Janine's videos before, but I didn't want to run up and be like, oh my god, I love your videos. But she came right up to me and was like, you look so familiar, like do you make videos? And I was like, yeah, and like was talking to her about it, and she was like, oh my god, I've totally seen your videos. And she was just so nice. And like a lot of times I feel like you can meet people, I did meet people at this party that I had watched their videos and stuff, and was just kind of sorely disappointed. Like they say don't meet your idols or whatever, and meeting YouTubers is always like hit and miss. Like sometimes they're just so rude and you're just like, wow. But Janine and Adrian were so sweet, and Adrian has always been like the person that I ask about like vlog cameras and different questions, and she's always there to answer me. And we definitely need to plan a trip together together soon. We've been talking about it because I just feel like even though they are a bit younger than me, like we're just right here on the same level and we just have so much fun together. So yeah, I love those two girls and I had to mention them as well. The next person that I briefly met was Melanie Murphy, and she is like a sex positive YouTuber. She talks about all sorts of things, mental health and everything in between, and I just love her. And I have quite the crush on her, I'm not gonna lie. So when I saw her in the bathroom I was like, ugh, and I just literally like had to say something to her. We were like washing our hands at the same time or something like that, which in another bathroom, another time I was washing my hands next to Jenna Marbles and I literally completely like blacked out, couldn't say anything. Something took over my body and I just like ran out of the bathroom, like literally ran. When I saw Melanie I was like, oh my god, I have to say something. So I was like complimented her on her outfit to start off or something, and she was like, oh my god, I love your outfit. And then we were like those girls in the bathroom that were like obsessed with each other, and we just had a moment and I thought she was so kind. And I had to mention that as well because she was just so sweet and complimentary. She was like, oh my god, your hair, your hat, I love your outfit. Like, and you just remember those things, you know what I mean? So it's just left a very pleasant taste in my mouth about Melanie. I just think she's so great and I love her content. Really quickly, I met Swoozy. He was a doll, he was adorable. He took my hand and kissed it. He was very polite, very sweet. I was actually getting ready to talk to Lauren because a girl that I was with at the VidCon party, or that like I was sort of staying with that weekend, ended up going to high school with Lauren, so I wanted to talk to Lauren or Laura DIY about it. And when I was on my way to talk to her, I like met or was introduced to Swoozy, and he was just really sweet. I don't know, sometimes you meet people with like that number of subscribers and they're like really full of themselves and like whatever. No, he was just really sweet and kind. So that was amazing. He was awesome. But then Lauren or Laura DIY, like I was saying, I went up and talked to her because I just love her content so much and I genuinely feel like we would be such good friends. If and when I move to LA, I'm like literally gonna start a petition to make her be friends with me. But I remembered talking to her and telling her that I loved her content and that I was with a girl that she went to high school with, and she was like, oh my god, I didn't know she was here, I haven't seen her yet, you know, blah blah. And I was just saying how I just love her videos, I love her energy, I love her spirit, I think she's great, and I was considering moving to LA because I think she had just moved to LA at that point. And she was like, oh my god, do it, like you have to do it, it's the best decision I ever made, blah blah blah. And her boyfriend Alex were so cute at this party. And I know she'd probably obviously never remember meeting me because she meets like thousands upon thousands of people, but it was just such a pleasant experience. And like I just love when you meet YouTubers. Obviously they're just like normal human beings, but it's just so nice when like someone with a huge following genuinely takes the time to talk to you and makes you feel like you're the only person in the room and is genuinely interested in what you have to say, instead of being like, yeah, huh, which I have had experiences with on YouTube and meeting YouTubers. So yeah, it was just really nice to meet her and she was so sweet, and I like genuinely want to be her bestie, so maybe we can make that happen this year. And the last person I will talk about is Loey Lane. I wanted to save the best for last because oh man, I love this girl. Loey is one of my old school OG YouTube friends, and so I finally got to meet her in person at the same VidCon party, and I came up and met her and she was so sweet. She gave me the biggest hug, and Loey actually like took me around this entire party the entire night. She didn't have to do that. I just thought it was really kind, and we opened up to each other about like deep dark secrets and stuff. We had the best time together. We just had so much fun like having drinks together. She just took me around this party like the entire night, and she introduced me to all these people. So like Swoozy and everyone that I mentioned above, she introduced them to me, and she was just so warm and inviting and like exactly how I would imagine her. And she really has been like my YouTube friend for 5 years. Like before we both had 1,000 subscribers, we were friends. I just love her body positivity movement and everything she stands for, and I just freaking love that girl. Loey, if you're watching this, you know how I feel about you. I'm like a fan and a friend, but seriously. And somehow we ended up at the front of this party. Like when the party was over, we were waiting to take an Uber together, and we were just sitting down in the grass, and she was telling me about projects that she was working on. We took our Uber through Taco Bell together, and we just had so much fun, and we just had a great night, and I just love her. I didn't get a chance to see her the rest of the time at VidCon because she was super busy. I think I went to like her Q&A the next day, and I have so much love and respect for her. She's amazing. Those are pretty much all of the YouTubers that I have for today. Hopefully I will have more experiences the more I get out there and do YouTube things. I definitely plan on going to VidCon this year. Hopefully. Not definitely, hopefully. If you guys liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Forgive me for my wrongs, I have just begun. Ain't no mercy, ain't no mercy. Huh.